Today I'll walk you through 20 essential embroidery stitches, what they look like, how to make them, and what they're best for. If you enjoyed this tutorial, don't forget to subscribe for more embroidery tips and projects. And if you would like a handy reference to keep by your side, my Embroidery Basic Stitches pattern guide is linked in the description. You can grab it anytime from my Etsy shop. So let's get started. This is the straight stitch. Bring your needle up point A, and then you're going to insert it down at point B. This is your stitch length. Repeat in any direction for lines, raised, or scattered designs. It's best for simple lines, adding texture, radiating shapes like sun rays or flower petals. This is the running stitch. Bring your needle up at point A, insert it down at point B, then you're going to bring it back up at point C, creating a small gap between stitches. Continue in an up and down motion for a dashed line. Running stitch is best for outlines, quilting, gathering fabric, or adding delicate texture. This is the Satin Stitch. Outline your shape lightly with a pencil or stitching. Bring your needle up at one edge, insert it down at the opposite edge covering the fabric. I like to space out my stitches, so you'll see in a bit. I went down, I left a gap, back up, and then I'm going to go down at the opposite edge. And I will continue this until the end, and then I'm going to continue placing stitches side by side with no gaps. Satin stitch is best for filling shapes with smooth, solid color, great for petals, lettering, and bold designs. You want it to look flat as you continue spacing out your floss. Once again, keep continuing this until you no longer have any gaps and you are satisfied with how your satin stitch has turned out. This is the back stitch. Bring your needle up at point A, insert it down at point B, first stitch length. Then you're going to bring it back up at point C, which is one stitch length ahead of B. Then you're going to insert it down at point B, the end of the previous stitch. Repeat up ahead, down into the end of the last stitch. It's best for clean outlines, lettering, and fine details. You will end the stitch by doing the last back stitch. And just like that. Now this is the stem stitch. You bring your needle up at point A, insert it down at point B, but you'll bring the needle up again halfway along that stitch, slightly below or to the side of the line. Just like that. Repeat, keeping the thread consistently on one side. So if I'm holding the thread up, I'm going to continue doing that every time I bring my needle back up. This is great for stems, vines, curves, and flowing outlines. Sometimes I also like to use this for cursive lettering. So you're going to come up from the previous insert. Perfect, just like that. And you will end the stitch by going back down, just like that. This is the French knot. You're going to bring your needle up at point A, wrap the thread around the needle 1 or 2 times, insert the needle down very close to point A, not in the exact same hole, and they're going to pull through slowly while holding the wraps in place. Just pull slowly. French knots are best for flower centers, berries, and raised decorative dots. So you'll see I came up through point A again, wrapped it twice, inserting to the side, pulling it down, and then pulling my needle through while I'm holding the thread to the side. Then you will let it go slowly. Next, we have the chain stitch. How you'll do this is you'll bring your needle up at point A, insert it back into or near A, but bring it up at point B. So now you're going to bring it up at point B while catching the loop under your needle. Just like that. Now you're going to insert it back into near point where you just ended, and you're going to repeat this to form the linked hoops. Chain stitch is best for bold outlines, borders, and decorative lines. It also looks really nice to use chain stitch on those chunky sweaters with baby names on them. Once you come through to end the stitch, you will just pull the needle back down from your last stitch, just like that. This is the blanket stitch. You're going to bring your needle up at the fabric edge, point A. You're going to insert it down diagonally away from the edge, point B. bringing it up again along the edge while catching the loop. So we're going to bring the needle back up. And then you're going to repeat evenly along the edge. So once you're satisfied, go down diagonally again, then come up and continue repeating. Blanket stitch is best for finishing raw edges, edging blankets, and decorative borders. Okay, I'm going to show you how to end this stitch. You're going to go down, come back up, and then right next to it, take your needle and insert it back down. Next up, we have the fly stitch. You're going to bring your needle up at point A, go to the side, insert it down at point B, leaving a loose loop. You're going to bring the needle up at point C between A and B to catch the loop, then tack it down with a small straight stitch. Like that. Fly stitch is best for branches, leaves, and decorative V-shaped designs. Next up, we have the lazy daisy. It's going to be in a flower, so we are just using back stitch for the stem over here, as you can see. Keep going back. Now to do the lazy daisy stitch, you're going to bring your needle up at point A. Okay. Then you're going to insert your needle back into point A while holding the thread to the side. Then you're going to bring your needle back up at point B, which will be the petal tip. You're going to catch the loop, tack the loop down with a tiny stitch, just like that. Lazy daisy are great for petals, small leaves, and simple floral designs. We have the basket weave. In order to do this, you are going to work parallel straight stitches across the shape. So you're just going to come up from one side, point A, then insert on the opposite edge of point B. You will continue doing this until you get to the end of your shape. Now we will weave a second set of stitches over and under the first, alternating each row. So as you can see, we're going to go under, over, and continue this until you get to the end. Then you will take your needle and insert it down into the fabric, pull through. I like to push my thread up like that, going to go ahead and insert my needle and pull it down. And then you're going to come back up to the side and continue going over, under, over, under. Continue this until you get to the bottom. Basket weave is great. It's best for filling areas with woven textures such as baskets or fabrics. Be sure to take your time with it so you don't skip any of the threads going over or under. This is the last one. Put my needle through. We will end the stitch by pulling the needle through and just inserting the needle through there and just attacking the stitch. Perfect. Let's work on the split stitch. You will bring your needle up at point A, insert it down at point B. You're going to bring it back up halfway through the previous stitch, piercing the thread. So now we're going to come in through the middle, pull the needle up, and repeat. Split stitch is best for textured outlines and sturdy lettering. You will end the stitch by pulling your needle through and then back under, just like that. Here we have the couching stitch. Lay a long thread over the fabric surface. So you're going to come up through point A. Okay, so just like a straight stitch, go down. There we go. Now you're going to use the second thread to tack it down at intervals with small stitches across it. So you will bring your second thread through the needle, and then you're going to go over the straight stitch, pull it down. You're going to tack it down. Couching stitch is best for using thick threads or ribbons or decorative cords. If you have any curves, it's also good for that. You will end it by doing the last tacking for the stitch. This is the whipped back stitch. It is very similar to how we do the back stitch. This one is one of my favorite stitches to do. First, you're going to make a row of back stitches. So remember, go up point A, come down point B, leave some space, come up, and then insert the needle back at the previous stitch. I'm going to continue doing this. Using a new thread, weave under each stitch. So you're going to bring your needle back up. You're going to weave under each stitch without piercing the fabric. Make sure you're pulling your needle in the same direction every time. So I push my thread up and I'm coming down. So I'm going to continue doing this until I am fully whipped with my thread. This is best for rope-like outlines, adding color contrast to lines. And then you will end the stitch by coming back down again and taking your needle down like that. Up next, we have the long and short stitch. You're going to bring your thread through point A, and then wherever you decide in the middle of your fabric where you want to come back down, you're going to work a row of alternating long and short stitches along the edge of your shape. So you're going to bring your needle back up, decide where you want to go. This is going to be a little longer. So we're just going to keep doing long and short stitches all the way through to the end of the shape. Now in the next row, we're going to fill the gaps and blend into the previous stitches. So we're going to continue bringing our thread up, go down, and it'll be long or short depending on the previous stitch that was done. This is best for shading and realistic thread painting. It's also great if you have an odd object that you need to fill in. You will continue doing the long and short stitch until the end of the shape. This is the fishbone stitch. You are going to bring your needle up at the leaf tip, point A. Then you're going to come down a little bit through the middle, and right there you're going to insert your needle back down. Then you are going to bring your needle up towards the right side. And you're going to insert your needle back into below the point where we just did the last stitch. You're going to keep alternating sides, crossing the center each time. So you're going to bring your needle up, insert it down on one side, then bring it up slightly below the center line. Keep continuing to do this until you reach the bottom. Fishbone stitch is best for realistic leaves and feathers. You will end the stitch by coming back up and going down the center by taking your needle down like that. This is the Bullion Stitch. It has been very tricky for me. It is lots of practice. So you're going to bring your needle up at point A, insert it down at point B, but bring it back up again at point A without pulling through. So you see how my needle is sticking up like that? Now you're going to wrap the thread around the needle several times. I'm going to keep wrapping, keep wrapping, keep wrapping. And then we will tilt our needle once we're done wrapping just to measure if it is enough length towards the stitch to the right. You don't want to do it too tightly, otherwise the needle is going to get stuck and you will not be able to pull it out. So now we are measuring. Okay, as you can see, I finally got it through. I'm pulling my thread slowly. Then I am going to insert it down at point B. Pull my needle through, and that's how you will end the stitch. Make sure you hold it tightly. This stitch is best for roses, textured coils, and decorative elements. This is a leaf satin stitch. You're going to start at the center vein of the leaf. You're going to bring your needle all the way down, and then you're going to stitch using alternating sides, but keep entering back down on the opposite hole. Keep alternating sides and continue until the leaf is filled. This is best for smooth, full leaves with a natural look. I love using leaf satin stitch for my leaves. You will end this stitch by taking your last thread through that same hole again, just like that. This is the woven wheel stitch. You're going to bring your needle up through the top center, point A. Make an odd number of straight stitches radiating out from the center, all meeting back at point A. These are your spokes. Either 5, 7, or 9 spokes work best so the weaving alternates properly. Here I am using 5, coming through the center, coming through the opposite side, then going back through the center. You're going to keep continuing this. Now I will bring my needle up through the center, very close to the center. And I'm going to begin weaving the thread over one spoke under the next and continue around the circle. Do not pierce the fabric or the spokes. Gently push each round of weaving towards the center to keep it neat and tight. Keep spiraling outward until the spokes are completely covered and your wheel is full. You're going to finish by sliding the needle under a few woven threads at the edge and bringing it down into the fabric. This is best for perfect round roses, textured floral centers, and circular decorative accents. At the very end now, I am taking my needle up and down through the fabric to fill in the rose to give it a fuller look. Keep continuing this and going around to give it that fuller look until you are satisfied and finished. Now we are on our final stitch, which is Fern Stitch. You're going to bring your needle up through point A, come straight down towards point B. Then you're going to bring your needle up point C and insert it back down towards the previous thread. And then you're going to continue this on the opposite end. Bring your needle up. And then down at the center. Fern stitch is best for fern fronds, pine needles, and botanical textures. And that's all 20 stitches, from simple lines to textured and decorative designs. Practice these and you'll always have the perfect stitch for any project. If you found this helpful, hit subscribe and check the link in the description for my Embroidery Basic Stitches pattern guide on Etsy. It's the perfect printable to keep by your side while you stitch. Thank you for joining me today.